Hey there, and welcome to OPG Pursuit Podcast. For our friends in the deaf community, we have provided a transcript. You can find it attached to this audio platform. Enjoy! Hey, y'all, and welcome to the inaugural episode of OPG Pursuit Podcast. My name is Chelsea, and I am the admin assistant for the Fishers branch of Opportunities for Positive Growth. The purpose of this podcast is to give you, the listener, insight into OPG culture. Each episode, we are going to showcase a member of our OPG family and learn a little bit more about them. So without further ado, let's meet our first willing participant, Dr. Jess Pilkington. She's a party of one in our brand new Occupational Therapy department. Dr. Jess, hey.
Hey.
Okay. Introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you and what brought you to OPG.
Yeah, I am super excited about being the first guest, but I, as Chelsea said, am Dr. Jess Pilkington. I am an occupational therapist, and I have been with OPG for almost a year as an employee, and I was also here for 4 months prior to being an employee as a resident in my doctoral program. I found OPG through kind of just small town of Cicero, knew some people, and pitched the idea to Gail Call that she should have an OT come and be a resident, and so I started my residency in a very non-traditional setting because we did not have an occupational therapist at the time, and then they decided to keep me on board after, so I absolutely love what I do at OPG, and I'm very proud to be the first and only occupational therapist, but I'm looking forward to the growth here.
Well, we're happy to have you, of course, and thanks for starting this out. I know it's a long process getting it started, getting it set up, but I think you're doing a great job, and I hope everybody agrees. I'm sure they do. So why did you choose OT as a life path?
I chose occupational therapy because when I was working as a pharmacy technician in undergrad, I was actually a pre-pharmacy major, thought that was the career path that I chose out of high school and was pretty sure about it. And then while working as a technician in the pharmacy, I decided I wanted to work a little closer with individuals. So searched some different career paths. I was a psychology major, which kept my avenues pretty open. I ended up finding occupational therapy and never looked back. As soon as I shadowed an OTA, which is an occupational therapy assistant, I was like, yep, this is what I meant to do, and finished out my undergrad career, applied to grad school, luckily was able to get in immediately after, and just absolutely love what I do every single day. I am able to work with such a wide variety of individuals that's kind of what brought me to the occupational therapy field. Is I'm not stuck in one place, like in the pharmacy behind the counter, or one population. Occupational therapy helps individuals of all ages, and I really like helping all kinds of different people. I'm not picky when it comes to what I like to do in OT, so I figured that was the perfect career choice, and I've never once doubted that since accomplishing my goal to be an occupational therapist. So.
Was there a specific moment that happened when you were with that OTA that made you feel like, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be?
It's definitely, he's still in my life, the OTA that I actually shadowed. He is a huge mentor in my life, and so he probably had a lot to do with why I chose occupational therapy, because I saw the impact that he made in the relationships that he built with these children and their families, and seeing, what they were accomplishing with his help was just amazing to see. These little kids look forward to coming and working really hard, and just seeing the effort that some of these little 3 or 4-year-old kiddos were coming in and just pushing themselves and trying so hard to accomplish their goals and their dreams, and he was the one assisting the children in that I was like, yep, this is what I want to do. I want to see people achieve their goals and dreams with me by the sideline and helping them along. So
Can you tell me a little bit about how occupational therapy can help people with disabilities in particular?
Yeah, so occupational therapy is great. Like I said before, we help people across the lifespan. So we're not stuck in any population, any disability. We help people from birth to death. We help them achieve those dreams or goals they have. So an occupation in the terms of occupational therapy is any meaningful activity, any daily activity that they do. So it could be leisure skills, it could be activities of daily living like getting dressed, brushing their teeth. It could be play skills for kids, giving them those skill sets to be able to interact with their peers, communicate with their parents, be able to stack blocks, grasping items. Occupational therapy helps individuals achieve those dreams and those goals.
So you mentioned to me that April is Occupational Therapy Month.
Yeah.
What are some ways that people can celebrate and or become more aware about OT in this month?
My first thing would be the American Occupational Therapy Association. It's our national association. It's amazing. They have a lot of really good resources for people either pursuing the OT career, for parents, for anybody that wants to learn more about what OT is. That's a great resource. Also, if you know an OT or if you know me or want to get to know me, reach out to those OTs. I guarantee you they'll be more than willing to explain what OT is, because my most exciting moment is when I meet a stranger or someone in a different setting and they actually know what I do. When they ask me what I do for a career and I say I'm an OT, and they're like, oh, an occupational therapist? And as soon as they say it, I'm like, yes, they know. So educate others. If you know families that are having a difficult time, have them reach out to organizations such as OPG that can really educate you about how we can help you. I guarantee you an OT is not going to explain what they do for a living when you ask them. So ask those questions. Celebrate OT month. We've been around for over 100 years. So we're really proud of what we do. We're a really strong career and profession in the healthcare world. There's a lot of evidence-based research behind what OTs do every day. So just continue to look at those journals and reach out to others and spread the word for us OTs. I know my family are advocates for OT now because they hear about it all the time. So all of my friends, all of my family, they know exactly what OT is. So if you do know what OT is or you want to know what OT is, help spread the word for all of us and just help reach out to families in need or individuals in need that might benefit from occupational therapy.
Yeah, beautifully said. So what's the best way to reach you at OPG? If, say somebody wants to jump in, learn a little bit more about what we at OPG can provide for them, how do they contact you?
So definitely check out our website at www.opgrowth.com. There is an occupational therapy tab on there as well. Feel free to reach out to me by my email address. It's just jpilkington@opgrowth.com. I would love to communicate with anybody that has any questions about how occupational therapy can help, and give us a call. Chelsea is also very educated about what OT is because she's been right along board with this process. So even if you feel free to call the Fisher's office or any of our offices, they will send you my way. So feel free to reach out with any questions.
Always accepting new people, so
Yes.
get to know us. We're pretty easy to talk to, I like to think at least.
We are. We're a good group.
Cool. So here comes the fun part.
Boy.
I'm going to do a little rapid fire
Okay.
asking you questions. You can take as long as you need to answer them.
Okay.
But so the first one is a question that I'm sure you get often because you work for Opportunities for Positive Growth. Dr. Jess Pilkington, what is your dream?
What is my dream? My professional dream is to have a very successful department here at OPG, help individuals that aren't receiving the services that they need and should have access to, and to have a department to manage and a lot of successful employees working under me.
What about your personal dream?
My personal dream, oh boy, to remodel my house. We live out in the country and I love where we live, but I would like to kind of make our house a little nicer. That's a few dreams in the works. We're kind of currently working on remodeling one of our bathrooms, so.
That is awful.
Yeah.
We have a 20s bungalow, so we just updated everything, but we're trying to keep it as consistent with the time period. But it's just awful working with contractors, so I wish you the best of luck. Unless you're doing it yourself, then I wish you double luck.
I'm very lucky. I have family that is assisting with it and has a lot more experience, and so we have some good support systems that are going to help us remodel it, but I might just not be there for a few weeks so they can get it done.
Yeah, remodeling is never fun, but then you're happy because you have a nice space.
It'll be worth it in the end.
Yeah, it'll definitely be worth it. Okay, if you could go to any fictional place and live there, where would you want to go and live?
This is like in my head.
It's a fictional place in your head.
No. I'm trying to think of it.
It's like a place you made up in 2nd grade.
Oh, I don't know. I think Hogwarts is probably it's up there.
Have you been to Universal?
I have not.
You have to go to Universal.
Will that meet my dreams of going to Hogwarts? Okay.
They have Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade. Diagon Alley, beautiful. It's
I'll have to.
fantastic.
There's another dream. There we go.
There you go. Go to Universal.
Yep, go to Universal.
You can buy a robe
Hogwarts.
and stand in 90-degree heat, so definitely worth
Sounds
it.
like a good time.
Some people are all about that. We got the interactive wands when you're there, and you stand in front of like a window, and then you do, Locomoto or whatever whatever that one is, that spell is, but like it comes with like little hand movements you have to do, and then it does like makes a little train move and stuff.
That's awesome.
Pretty rad. Yeah.
There you go.
Cool. Do you have any songs completely memorized?
Other than like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Some Mozart, yeah, so.
No, other than children's songs, because I have a lot of pediatric experience, so I have the ABCs is just excellent out of my voice. I get some real happy little kids when I sing the ABCs when I'm stretching them. No, I'm not.
No, nothing just like.
There's too much in this
Ready
brain
to go.
from grad school that I have no more room for.
Did you like have to learn songs in grad school to like remember things? You know how sometimes people will make a rap or something to remember their stuff a little better?
Not really. I'm trying to think. I
Had a very boring
Yeah,
academic
it's a very
career.
clinical based, but the pediatric classes, you kind of get that experience of just meeting them at their level. So, no, I just know how to make them smile when I'm singing their favorite songs. But sometimes, like the wheels on the bus, sometimes we adjust that as needed. So,
Do some improv.
yeah.
That's good. What do you wish you knew more about?
I am always looking to learn more about the OT field and how I can help people. So I am the OT that's signing up for every single continuing education course that I can get my hands on. So I'm always willing to learn more about the people that we support and how I can help them best, and new diagnoses, new research. I'm a very nerdy person. I went to school for as long as I did for a reason. I love education, and I love having that under my belt and supporting what I do every day. So
I always love that when people are like, I just want to learn more about my craft.
I love
because
it.
it's great. Yeah. Like you went into it for a reason because
I love what I do.
really love doing it.
And I do it all the time. In my personal life, I'm always talking about OT. In my professional life, I'm always talking about OT. So it's definitely a good career choice.
What's something you think everyone should do at least once in their life?
At least once. Ride a horse.
Ride a horse.
Yep. I love horses. I grew up on horses. Had horses growing up. I think it's an experience that will just get you out into nature and calm you. Horses are such like big animals, but they're so intelligent. So I feel like sometimes people don't realize that, or they might be nervous around them. So just being around horses and having that experience, it's one of a kind.
Unless you get bucked like me. I did an equestrian camp when I was a kid, and they gave me the most ornery horse, and she just did not like the way I was holding the reins and bucked me. So that was
Have you rode a horse since?
Not in my adult life, but
But after that, yes?
yeah, sure.
Well, I think you should, in your adult life, then try one more time. Give it one more shot.
I don't know if I'm a natural at it. I definitely did not pay attention to how to properly, like, hold on, and not fall off the horse. So,
yeah, that can be traumatic.
right. And you're like, oh, I hope it doesn't, like, stomp on me. That'd be awful.
Yes.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
My funniest compliment
I'll take it.
is that I have big eyes. So that's weird.
But do they mean it as a compliment, or are they
sometimes,
like, it's just an observation?
Sometimes it's an observation, and then they just keep saying it, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
I get it.
But then sometimes they're like, you have really big eyes, like as they're, like they're kind of trying. Then after they say you have really big eyes, they're like, they're really pretty, and I'm like, oh, thanks.
It's very backhanded compliment.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
I get that a lot.
So what's the best way to say that somebody has big eyes without like
add a bonus word in there, like you have really big, pretty eyes. Like they're not just big; they're big and pretty. So that's my weirdest compliment. My best compliment, I would say, was from my brother. My family is very proud of me with my education and what I've accomplished. And he just had a baby not too long ago, and he's in Utah, so we kind of just communicate over the phone, and he was asking me some developmental questions about his baby, and it feels really good to me when he's coming to me about his own child and kind of what she should be doing. And we were talking about a specific subject about her eating, and he was concerned about something. I ended up telling him what my professional judgment was, just from phone conversation, not seeing her in person. And I actually was right. And he said, wow, you really do know what you're doing. And it felt really good to have my older brother, because we're very competitive. We've always been competitive in life. Very close. But when he said that, I was like, oh, he does trust me. And, it's his own child, and so that felt really good to have. Not only do I get other individuals allowing me to spend time with their children and trusting me with their children, my own brother was pretty confident in my abilities, so that felt good.
you get that confirmation.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Sometimes it means a lot more when it's from someone that, you've known your whole life and been very competitive with your whole life, so when someone like that gives you a compliment that means that much, it meant a lot. So
Yeah, because it's a very honest, straightforward
Yep.
sort of compliments. It's awesome. What's the last adventure you went on?
Adventure. Well, I just got back from Arizona.
It's an adventure.
Yeah.
It's not Indiana.
It's not Indiana, and we went whitewater rafting for the first time, which I didn't expect it to be, because we had a few little kids, well, not little, they're 13 and 14 on the raft, and so I was like, oh, we're not gonna hit. Like, I was expecting, like, Indiana tubing, like, where you just float down the river. We actually hit some, like, really good rapids, and we had to paddle, and it was beautiful weather. It was so nice. It was kind of down a canyon, and I had never done that before, even though I'm from Utah. I had never gone, so that was something that I really enjoyed and had never done before.
Were you feeling it in your arms the next day?
Not really. They said to use your abs when you row.
So you're feeling your abs.
Kind of, but you have to bend and row, and so there was 7 of us paddling, so 3 on each side and 1 in the back. So you weren't doing all the work, but
just one person.
I'm just one of 6.
Just getting the raft.
Yeah.
Like in line.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a good time.
Last question I'll ask you. What do you think is the best thing about you?
Best thing about me. Oh, you're gonna make me sound so. Oh, that's a hard question.
Yeah, we don't give ourselves enough compliments.
That's
Just as people.
I agree.
It's good to show some self-love every now and then.
Best thing about me. This is all going back to my education and my accomplishments with that. I feel like I am educated yet humble. I will tell you if I don't know the answer. I'm not going to make something up that I don't know. So I'm willing to accept that as an educated person, and if I don't know the answer, I will try to find the answer, but I'm willing to put in the work. I'm dedicated to what I do. I'm dedicated to the field of occupational therapy. As you can tell, it's a passion of mine. It's why I love what I do every single day, because it's a passion. So I feel like I'm a very dedicated and humble person.
That is Dr. Jess Pilkington in a nutshell. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I had
Of course.
a great time. I'm looking forward to hearing more about OPG and the rest of the team.
Yeah, look forward to meeting some more people from our OPG team. In my opinion, we're a pretty fantastic crew of people, so I hope that you enjoy getting to learn them just as I will enjoy getting to learn them too.
Yeah.
All right, thanks guys.